So it goes automatically?
Uh-huh.
Good.
Hi everyone, I'm Kathleen Taylor with the Nevada Women's Business Center. Thank you so much for tuning in today for this live stream webinar about risk management for small business. And I am just so pleased to have a really good colleague of mine and friend of mine, Ralph McNamara, as our speaker guest and also our featured presenter as well. So you're in for a treat for this webinar, mainly because we're going to do a couple things here. Ralph and I, we're going to have a conversation about risk management, and then we're going to transition over to some slides that are short and concise but very informative about risk management, and then Ralph will take it from there. So we'll have a moment of transition, from our conversation piece to the slide presentation. So thank you so much for tuning in. So Ralph, welcome. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure.
Yes, definitely. I'm really pleased to share some of your background with the audience. So for your information, everyone, Ralph McNamara is currently the owner of REM Business Consulting, LLC in Henderson, Nevada, which provides risk management assessments, awareness, and consulting to businesses, nonprofits, and dental and medical practices. He has over 25 years of experience in security and law enforcement experience in leadership positions in numerous federal agencies, domestically and internationally, in a variety of different areas such as criminal and administrative investigations, proactive initiatives, physical and personal security, internal controls, fraud, intelligence operations, and computer crimes. So you're like a superhero, Ralph. And also, Ralph has an associate degree in criminal justice from the University of Maryland, a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology from the University of Maryland, and a master's degree in public administration from Troy State University. So we're really pleased to have someone of your expertise to advise people about what risk management is from a small business perspective, because it seems that from our experience in business development that our clients who are startup entrepreneurs or even existing business owners, they're so caught up into the day-to-day operations of things that they may not quite understand that risk management goes beyond having insurance coverage, for your business. So could you please give us an overview of risk management, and then we'll transition over to your presentation.
Sure. Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for this opportunity. I'd also like to thank you for doing these webinars to help the small business, and because I think this is very well needed in the community, and the outreach for this potential is great. So I really thank you for that.
Thank you.
In regards to operational risk management, you were correct. A lot of small businesses and nonprofits, they're not fully aware of all the potential risks that can actually harm or even destroy their business. Another part of that is that small businesses or nonprofits, they don't think anything like this is going to happen to them. They think it's going to happen to somebody else.
Yes.
So I try to tell my clients that awareness is the greatest point of interest for them in operational risk management, because operational risk management is different than insurance, compliance risks, and stuff like that. In the way that we deal with risk is entirely different. So I always use the example. I ask the clients, do you have, or have you bought a house?
Okay.
And they'll say yes. And I said, when you bought a house, did you get a house inspection? And 99% of the time they say yes. I said, why did you get a house inspection? Well, they said they want to know what's wrong with the house, what could potentially go wrong with the house, and what's might cost me time and money down the line. I said, well, a risk assessment, operational risk assessment, is just like a home inspection, only it's for your business.
Wow.
Because most small businesses and nonprofits, they don't have the resources, the manpower, the funding to have all the expertise that are needed to protect their business from operational risks that can happen. And you never know when this is going to happen.
Right.
It's
never
just
know.
like you have car insurance, because you never know when you might hit somebody or somebody might hit you.
Yes.
It's extra insurance so that you're prepared if these events happen. So that's what operational risk assessment is. And it includes not only the assessment, but it also includes a plan to prepare you or your business for anything that might happen down the line. So it's really important. I know that I worked with a lot of 100 retailer companies in the United States, and they have a big organization, risk management organization. They have a risk assessment group. They have security, safety officers. They have attorneys and general counsels.
Yes.
And they have a whole bunch of people designed to protect their business. Now, when you look at that flow chart and you compare it to small business, there's only one person on that flow chart more of the time.
Yes.
It's the owner. And the owner may be great at what they're doing or what they're selling, the service that they're providing, but they don't have the opportunity, they don't have the experience or knowledge to know what could possibly happen to that business. And I always use the saying, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
So and the biggest part of my, I guess my business is education to make people aware that these things can happen.
Yes, absolutely.
And it can be devastating, but it also, just like having insurance, you can prepare for some of these risks.
Yes,
And you can take steps to make sure that if they do happen, you're not taken by surprise. You have a plan that you're able to deal with them, and you have some experts at your beck and call that can help you deal or work through some of these events should they happen to you.
Absolutely, and it's good to be proactive, in your approach. Would you suggest that a business owner should build this component into their business plan when they're just starting, or if they have an existing business to integrate this into their operational systems?
Yes, I think it's very important when you do your business plan to include a risk management plan.
Yes.
I mean, not only from the standpoint of looking at the overall assessment of the business, but also to make sure that you have an opportunity to research that. And you don't have to spend a lot of money hiring consultants. Some of this you can actually do yourself.
Good.
And I know that the internet has a lot of information. You wouldn't want to use the internet, I guess, for legal opinions or such like that. But you could use the internet to give you a checklist of some risk management items to look for in your business. So it's real easy. You use Google or whatever search engine you have. You search for operational risk management checklist.
Yes.
You download it. It gives you an idea because nobody knows your business better than you.
Absolutely.
And you pick and choose which one of those items that's on the checklist that may apply to you, and you do a self-assessment, so to speak. That way you don't have to spend the money initially to have a risk assessment done by a professional.
Right.
That said, if there's certain areas of the checklist you're not comfortable with, you can always reach out to someone. The chamber, one of the chambers is good.
Yes.
It always has experts that will be able to, you can have a one-on-one with them and maybe get some answers.
Absolutely.
But there's always ways to do this. The only, like I said, the only thing that prohibits this from businesses being prepared is they think they don't know these things will never happen to them.
Right.
And so my part of my goal is to make sure businesses and nonprofits are educated that these things can happen, but there's things that you can do to prepare for those things should they happen.
Yes, absolutely. And there's like good, bad, and ugly scenarios.
Correct.
And I'm really pleased to transition now into your PowerPoint presentation, which you will be able to view for those of you that are tuning in through live stream. And Ralph has some really good examples of what could be a good way in approaching risk assessment as a business owner. What could be a scenario that's a bad way, the good, the bad, or just plain ugly. And that's why he's here today to help you avoid the bad and the ugly and get you on track of this is a good way of integrating risk management processes and systems within your business. So if you just bear with me just for a moment, I'm going to make the transition from this great conversation into the PowerPoint presentation where Ralph will take the lead. Just a moment.
Thank you. All right, thank you. The first slide here is the operational risk management slide. And I want to stress again the importance of awareness. That is the key, to be aware, and then once you're aware, you make the decision on how to prepare for potential risks. So with the second slide, I've kind of developed a three-element approach, and as Kathleen has mentioned, the good, the bad, and as stated, the downright ugliness of operational risk management. So the good is first recognizing and being aware of the potential risk areas in your business or nonprofit. This slide here shows a risk assessment checklist which I downloaded from the internet, which gives you a list of things that you should take in consideration. Some may not apply, some may apply. One of the things that's on here is under security is security cameras. Now I have security cameras that I recommend, but I also like to recommend what I call liability cameras. Now liability cameras help a business or nonprofit in view those areas where an incident may happen where someone may fall or injure themselves, and there's nothing to prove or disprove or verify any of the actions that happened in that injury or fall. So that's why I classify that as a liability camera. Now the bad is, as you can see here, not being aware of your risks. These risks can come up and happen to you, and you don't know, you don't understand, and you don't know how to prepare for them. And the second picture there is not knowing what to do about the risks. And there's many things that you can do. You can reach out to the Chamber, I said, and other organizations, SCORE, to get information to help you identify some of the risks, and also to help you through the process of preparing for these risks. And that's the third picture. I stealed it from Gilbert. It says, as you can read there, you don't want to have a plan that says the only thing we need to do is yell for help. You need to have a concise, detailed plan to make sure that if any of these operational risks happen, you will have options to deal with each and every one of them. And this is the ugly. You don't want to be a victim of some kind of fraud, theft, internal, external. And these are just some of the highlights of the ugly with some of the things that happen internally or externally. And one of them, as you can see on there, is the $4.5 million office supply scheme, which happened in Las Vegas. That could easily have been avoided or prevented had the agency had proper policies and procedures and internal controls. Now, not only do they need to have those policies and internal controls, they need to have some kind of check to make sure that everybody is complying with those policies and procedures, and that they check the internal controls to verify that they are working. Because $4.5 million is a lot of money. Now, your businesses may not lose that much, but it doesn't have to take that much to ruin your business, depending on the type of income and revenue stream that you have. So this is really the bottom line of operational risk management, is you don't want to be the victim of any one of the 6 types of common organizational risk management areas or events that can happen to you. And with that, I am done.
Thank you, Ralph. That was wonderful and very informative. And just bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, as we make the transition from the PowerPoint slides to Ralph and I continuing our conversation. So thank you so much for that short and to the point presentation about the good, the bad, and the ugly of risk management. What I really enjoyed about it is that you gave, some concrete scenarios as to what it's about in a very basic way. Because when you think about risk management, the word risk, it automatically kind of like creates some type of red flag or anxiety or some type of like negative connotation, so to speak, and what that involves. So I'm glad that you provided some really good information about a basic understanding of what it is. So with that, are there any other additional like pearls of wisdom or like key points you'd like to offer the audience about risk management?
Yes, risk management is very important, but I don't want to portray it as the sky is falling on every business. It's just another thing that you should take into consideration when you have a business. You need to wear a lot of hats, and some of those hats you can wear appropriately, and some of them you're just out of your league. So don't be afraid to reach out for help, and because that's the key to winning this battle against potential risks to your business. Don't be afraid to ask, don't be afraid to call up. There's a lot of different avenues that you can take, but again, awareness, be prepared, and try to reach out if you are unsure of what is happening in regard to operational risks.
And speaking of reaching out, could you please share with the audience your contact information with your company to provide that type of consultation and services?
Yes, you can go on the web to my website, which is www.rembusinessconsulting.com. I'm also going to publish shortly a video on YouTube.
Very good.
That'll also hopefully increase the awareness for business and nonprofit and medical and dental folks to take a look at and consider when they are operating their business, because operational risk management really is something that can save you money on your bottom line.
Right.
Because I always kind of make a reference to, would you agree that it's not how much you make that counts, it's how much you keep?
Oh, could you repeat that, Ralph?
Yeah, I always would say, it's not how much you make that counts, it's how much you get to keep.
Excellent.
And
yes.
operational risk management assessment helps you keep more.
Absolutely.
It finds the leaks where the funding is going out where it shouldn't be going out. It's just overall good to check what's going on. It's like getting a physical every year. You get a physical every year because you want to make sure you're top out.
Right.
You need to do the same thing for your organization, even if you do it yourself. So even if you don't want to get an outside consultation, just taking a look at internally of how your operations go can make a big difference in your bottom line.
Absolutely, and it would be quite prudent to invest in integrating operational risk management into the business's infrastructure as soon as you can, versus being reactive. So being proactive and making sure that that system is in place, that checklist is in place, versus being reactive after something has happened. So it does save you, money, at the end, definitely.
And that's a very good point, because as with anything in life, it's going to cost you less money if you find out something's wrong initially,
right,
rather than wait till something drastically happens, because it's going to cost you more money.
Absolutely.
And I have a lawyer friend saying, it's better to contact me up front where it's only gonna cost you a couple of hours of consultation,
Yes.
then contact me when you need somebody to litigate a case for you.
Oh, yes.
So it's always good to have a relationship with your insurance broker
Right.
and your lawyer up front
Yes.
to help you through your business.
Yes, definitely, and having a risk management resource in Ralph and his business, that's an additional a resource within the community that you can outreach as well.
Yes.
So this has been a short and sweet and to the point, and I must say very informative webinar that we provided today. And I look forward to having you back again to drill down a little more deeper into different aspects of risk management, risk management from an operational perspective. We really wanted to give the audience a general overview of what this entails, and then we'll build from there and going a little bit more in detail with additional webinars about the topic.
That would be good, because we can go into the 6 common areas
Oh, very
of
good.
risks that affect most businesses and nonprofits.
Oh, good. Now, that's a teaser for you. You know, stay tuned, and please keep our YouTube channel in mind for as a resource for entrepreneur training and development. Thank you so much for your earlier comments about promoting awareness through this type of venue. And on behalf of the Nevada Women's Business Center, thank you so much,
Thank
Ralph,
you.
for being here today, providing your expertise about risk management. And thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm Kathleen Taylor. And until next time, take care. Bye. Yay.
Very good. You are excellent.
Oh, you make it easy.
No.
You know, I just kind
You
of
make it easy.
I just, follow your lead and just kind of like flow